If you want to buy a Hostinger VPS and set it up correctly, this video will walk you through the entire process step by step. I'll show you how to get the best available discount, choose the right VPS plan, select your server location and operating system, connect to your server, install important updates, configure your firewall, and connect a domain. By the end of this tutorial, your Hostinger VPS will be online, secured, and ready for a website, Docker, NAN, a game server, or another application. To get started, click the first link in the description below. This will take you directly to Hostinger's VPS hosting page. You'll also find my exclusive coupon code next to the link, which you can enter at checkout to receive an additional discount. Quick disclosure, the link in the description is an affiliate link, which means I merit a commission if you purchase a plan at no additional cost to you. Using the link together with my exclusive coupon code will make sure you receive the best available savings on your Hostinger VPS plan. Hostinger currently offers 4 VPS plans: KVM1, KVM2, KVM4, and KVM8. The KVM1 plan is a good starting point for a small website, personal project, testing environment, or lightweight application. KVM2 gives you additional processing power, memory, storage, and bandwidth. This is the plan I recommend for most people who want to host multiple websites or run applications such as Docker or NAN. KVM4 is better for larger applications, busier websites, or projects that need more resources. KVM8 is the most powerful option and is primarily intended for resource-intensive applications, larger databases, game servers, or projects with higher traffic. Don't worry too much about choosing the perfect plan immediately. You can begin with a smaller plan and upgrade later if your project needs additional resources. For this tutorial, I'll select the KVM1 plan. Click the Choose Plan button under the plan you want to purchase. You'll now be taken to the checkout page. You'll see a coupon code section. Enter the coupon code shown in the description with the link and click Apply. Next, choose your subscription period. The longer term normally provides the lowest equivalent monthly price. I recommend the 24th month option if you plan on keeping the VPS long term and with the best overall value. Remember that the monthly price shown is the total cost of the plan divided by the number of months. You will pay for the selected term upfront. Also review the renewal price shown on the checkout page. The introductory discount applies to your first term, and your plan will renew at the rate displayed here unless you cancel or change it. Hostinger includes weekly backups with its VPS plans. If you're offered an optional daily backup upgrade, consider adding it if your server will contain frequently changing or business critical information. Otherwise, you can leave this option unchecked and use the included weekly backups. Next, choose your server location. For the best performance, select a location that is geographically close to you or the majority of your audience. A shorter distance between the server and its users can help reduce latency. Hostinger automatically displays the location with the best estimated latency. Most of my audience is located in the United States. The United States, Boston 2, currently provides the best latency, so I'll leave this selected. Next, you can optionally select the operating system, control panel, or application you want Hostinger to install. You could choose a plain operating system, an operating system with the control panel, or a pre-configured application. If you already know that you want to use Docker, Coolify, NAN, CyberPanel, or another supported application, selecting a pre-configured template can save you time. For a clean general purpose VPS, select Plain OS and choose Ubuntu. I'll select Ubuntu because it is beginner friendly, widely supported, and compatible with most websites and VPS applications. This section is optional, and you can change the operating system later through the VPS dashboard. However, reinstalling or changing the operating system will erase the data stored on the server, so always create a backup first. Once you've configured these options, review your order and confirm that the discount has been applied before continuing to create your Hostinger account. You can create your account using your email address or one of the available sign-in options. Enter your account information, choose your preferred payment method, and complete the purchase. I'll skip over entering my personal and payment information. Once the payment has been processed, Hostinger will take you to the VPS setup process. After creating your Hostinger account, you'll be taken to the Secure Your VPS Access page. Start by creating a password for your server or control panel. You'll need this password wherever you access and manage the VPS. So use a unique combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. Save it in a secure password manager so you don't lose it. You may also see the option to add an SSH key. An SSH key provides a more secure, password-free method of connecting to the server. It is commonly used by developers and experienced VPS users. If you don't already have an SSH key, you can skip this option for now. Hostinger allows you to add one later from the VPS dashboard. Once you've created and saved your password, click Next. Hostinger will now display the additional features section. The malware scanner is included with the VPS at no additional cost, so I recommend keeping it enabled. It monitors the server for potentially malicious or suspicious files. You may also see the option for daily auto backups. This is the optional backup service we reviewed during checkout. It can be especially valuable when hosting an important website, application, or client project that changes frequently. Depending on the operating system or application template you selected, Hostinger may also display additional software licenses. You can leave these unchanged unless you know that your project requires one of the paid licenses. Review the selections and click Next. Hostinger will now begin provisioning your VPS. You'll see its progress while Hostinger allocates the server resources, installs your selected operating system or application template, and prepares the server environment. This process can take several minutes, but you don't need to configure anything while it runs. Once provisioning is finished, Hostinger will confirm that your VPS is ready. Your server is now deployed and online. Click Manage VPS to open the VPS Management dashboard. This is the main area you'll use to monitor, access, and manage your server moving forward. From the VPS Overview page, you should see that the server status is running. You'll also find your VPS IP address, host name, current operating system, server location, and resource usage. Make a note of your server's IP address because you'll need it to connect to the VPS and point a domain to it. The VPS dashboard also gives you access to monitoring, backups, snapshots, firewall rules, operating system settings, and the browser terminal. Before installing an application, it's a good idea to open the Backups and Snapshots section and confirm that backups are active. You can also create a snapshot of the clean server. This gives you a restore point that you can return to it if something goes wrong during a future installation. I also recommend enabling two-factor authentication on your Hostinger account if you haven't already done so. Return to the Overview page and click Web Console. Hostinger will open a browser terminal in a new tab and automatically connect you to the server as the root user. For this tutorial, I'll use Hostinger's browser terminal because it doesn't require any additional software. The first thing we need to do is install the latest system and security updates. Because we selected Ubuntu, enter the following command: apt update and apt upgrade -y. Press enter. The first part refreshes the list of available packages. The second part downloads and installs the available updates. Once that is finished, remove any packages that are no longer needed with apt auto remove -y. Using the root account for every server management task is not recommended because the root user has unrestricted access to the entire server. We'll create a separate administrator account for normal server management. Enter add user VPS admin. You can replace VPS admin with the username you want to use. Create a strong password for the new user. As you type your password, nothing will appear on the screen for security purposes. This is completely normal. Once you've entered it, press enter. Then type the same password again to confirm it and press enter once more. The remaining profile information is optional, so you can press enter to skip it. Type Y and press enter to confirm the information. Now give the new account administrator privileges by entering usermod -a g sudo VPS admin. Test the account by entering su -VPS admin. Then enter sudo who am I. Enter the new user's password when prompted. If the terminal returns root, the new account has the correct administrator privileges. You can now use this account for regular server management tasks instead of working directly as root. To connect as a new user from your computer, open Windows Terminal or Mac OS Terminal and enter SSH, skip a space, VPS admin at your underscore server underscore IP. Replace the username and IP address with your actual information. Type yes to proceed. Enter the new user's password when prompted. If you successfully connect, your SSH access is working. For additional security, you can also add an SSH key and use key-based authentication instead of relying entirely on passwords. Just make sure key-based login is working before disabling password or root access, or you could lock yourself out of the server. Return to the Hostinger VPS dashboard, open the security section, and select Firewall. Create a new firewall configuration. I'll name this Basic VPS Firewall. Click the three dots icon and click Edit. Set the action to accept. Choose TCP as the protocol and enter 22 for the port. For this tutorial, I'll set the source to any so I can connect from different networks. If you restrict SSH to one IP address and that address changes, you could accidentally block your own access. Click Add Rule. Leave the default drop rule in place because it blocks incoming traffic through ports we haven't specifically allowed. Before activating the firewall, also add TCP port 80, source any for HTTP, TCP port 443, source any for HTTPS. Don't add any other ports unless your application specifically requires them. Every open port creates another possible entry point into the server. Review the rules carefully and activate the firewall configuration. Always make sure your SSH port 22 or your custom SSH port is allowed before activating a firewall. Otherwise, you could block your own remote access. This next section is optional, but I'll show you how to point a domain to the VPS. Copy the VPS IP address from the overview page. If your domain is registered with Hostinger, go to Domains and open the domain portfolio. Click Manage next to the domain you want to use, and then open DNS Name Servers. Find the DNS records section. Create or update an A record with the following information. Type A, name at, points to your VP IP address, TTL, leave the default value. The @ symbol represents the main domain. For the www version, create a CNAME record. Type CNAME, name www, target your main domain name, TTL, leave the default value. If you want to use a subdomain such as app.yourdomain.com or admin.yourdomain.com, create another A record. Enter app or admin in the name field and point it to the same VPS IP address. Remove any old A or CNAME record that conflicts with the new record, but do not delete unrelated email records such as MX records. If the domain is registered somewhere other than Hostinger, make these same changes to the DNS manager provided by your domain registrar. DNS changes can begin working within a few minutes, but complete propagation can take longer. Remember that connecting the domain does not automatically install a website or activate HTTPS. You still need to install your application or web server and then generate an SSL certificate using your control panel, application, or a tool such as Certbot. Return to the terminal and run uptime. This confirms that the server is online. Next, enter free skip a space -h. This shows the available and currently used memory. You can also enter df skip a space -h. This displays the server's disk usage. Finally, return to the Hostinger overview page and confirm that the server status is running and its resource usage appears normal. Your Hostinger VPS is now purchased, deployed, updated, protected by a firewall, and ready for your project. From here, you can install WordPress, Docker, NAN, Coolify, a control panel, a game server, or another application. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more step-by-step hosting and website tutorials. You can use the first link in the description to get the best available Hostinger VPS discount. Thanks for watching.